You're watching HNNCast with Space Rogue on the Hacker News Network.
HNN is sponsored by Astaro, simplifying security. Become a sponsor. Email sales@hackernews.com.
This is Space Rogue for the Hacker News Network, and this is HNNCast for the first week of January 2010. This is also our first official launch episode. Coming up, we have stories on Kodak picture frames, CYBERsitter sues all of China, and we have last year's news review by Courtney, and information how you can order your very own HNN t-shirt. But first, the news. Our top story this week: supposedly secure USB drives evidently aren't, as a newly discovered flaw in USB vendor SanDisk's secure USB technology leaves devices from multiple vendors vulnerable to attack. A flaw residing in the password handling process of SanDisk application software puts data placed on these devices at risk. In an alert issued by the company, the USB vendor emphasized that the flaw was not in the device hardware or firmware, but actually in the application that runs on the host system. Meanwhile, secure USB vendors Kingston and Verbatim, which both use SanDisk software in their products, have either issued updates for their devices or actually gone so far as to recall the affected USB drives. It's interesting to note that all of these affected drives pass the FIPS 104-2 Level 2 certification, for whatever that's worth, which is obviously not a whole hell of a lot. And of course, IronKey has gone out of their way to mention that they are not affected by this vulnerability.
IronKey security analysts have researched this information and studied the vulnerabilities. I'm happy to report that IronKey customers are safe.
Well, good for you, IronKey. Face it, once you have physical access to the device, all security is suspect. The Financial Services Information Sharing and Analysis Center has invited financial institutions, retailers, card processors, and businesses of all sizes to participate in the upcoming Cyber Attack Against Payment Processes, or CAP exercise. The 3-day exercise, to take place next month, will simulate a cyber attack against financial services and will highlight a different attack each day. It is hoped the simulated attack will test members' emergency response, notification, and communication procedures. Oh, and just to make their OPFOR experience more fun, Immunity is proclaiming January the month of Zero Day, with a week each devoted to directory server bugs, web server bugs, and directory server bugs. That should keep things pretty interesting. Did you get a Kodak EasyShare picture frame for Christmas? Evidently, each Kodak picture frame publishes its own RSS feed based on its MAC address to the internet. This makes it trivially easy for anyone to grab copies of your private photos, or worse, upload photos to your picture frame. FrameChannel.com, the company providing this service for Kodak, also provides this service to several other manufacturers of picture frames. It is not known if any of them are also vulnerable. FrameChannel.com has begun filtering the RSS feeds based on user agent because, evidently, user agents can't be faked. CYBERsitter has filed a $2.2 billion lawsuit against the People's Republic of China, 2 Chinese software companies, and 7 computer makers, alleging that China's filtering software, GreenDam Youth Escort, copied more than 3,000 lines of code directly from CYBERsitter's internet filtering software. The Chinese government had mandated that all PCs sold within the country must ship with the software installed. When it was discovered that GreenDam was riddled with security holes and would essentially turn the whole country into one big botnet, the government quickly backed down. Over 3 days last month, about $3 million was drained from the bank account of the Duanesburg Central School District in upstate New York and deposited into overseas accounts. NBT Bank was able to reverse all but about $500,000 worth of the charges. While reports don't specifically mention it, this is a classic Zeus botnet Trojan attack. In a somewhat related story, the Eugene, Oregon School District had a server breach that possibly exposed the personal information of current and former school employees. We'll be back with more HNNCast right after these messages.
Fire! Sexy. Stylish. Impress your crew. Intimidate lamers.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Hacker News t-shirts, $25 at www.